Hey y'all, this is Miss Miller here, and let's talk a little bit about polynomials and factoring. I wanted to give y'all another option for studying. If you are still worried about our test that we're going to be having soon. So I'm going to do just some practice problems here with you on the polynomials and factoring. I do have other videos that specifically go over factoring the big X method or bottoms up, so you could watch those too if you needed some more help. But let's talk about simplifying polynomials. So I'm going to write down a problem, and then if you want to write this down on your own paper, you could practice along with me. What's great about being at home or being able to watch the review at your own pace is you could pause this right now, write this down, try it out, and then play it. That would be a good way to study the test. It's a lot more effective and helpful for you if you are practicing it and then checking your answer as opposed to just watching me. If you just sit here and watch me, you're probably not going to learn as much. So here we're just adding and subtracting polynomials. All we're doing is adding and subtracting. There's no multiplication going on. So because we're adding and subtracting polynomials, what I always tell my kids is you don't ever touch the exponents. So nothing's going to be changing with our exponents here. You're not going to do anything to them. We're just adding and subtracting really coefficients. Because this is a subtraction problem, because there's a subtraction there, and because we have these parentheses, that subtraction sign, what it really does is it changes the sign of everything inside the parentheses. So I really recommend, if you have a problem like this, that first step would be to rewrite it, make it a plus sign in the middle, and then flip the sign of everything that comes after. So keep a negative x squared plus 4x plus 1. So I just changed the sign of each of these things here. And this is also another tip. I would use a different color to highlight my like terms. So I had an x squared here and an x squared here. So these two things are like terms because they have the same variable x and they have the same exponent 2. Okay, so then I also have a positive 3x and a positive 4x. So those things are like terms, they go together. So for the first step here, let's do a 2 plus a negative 1. There's no coefficient, we know that means 1. So 2 minus 1, really. That leaves us with x squared. Okay, that we took care of our yellow terms. Now positive 3x plus 4x. That's just 3 plus 4, which is 7x. And then the only two things left over are a positive 2 and a positive 1. That leaves us with a positive 3. So that is how you would add and subtract or combine those like terms. We could do just like one more like that. So let's do 4x squared plus 3x minus 5 plus 6x squared minus 10. Okay, I'm still going to do the same thing where I'm going to highlight my like terms. So I have an x squared from here and here. So those things go together. And then I have a 3x here, but there's no x term right here. There's nothing with just an x on it. So then the only other thing I have are these two numbers, a negative 5 and a negative 10. Okay, so if I add 4x squared plus 6x squared, I get 10x squared. Okay, and then if you have a positive 3x, there's no other blue thing to combine it with, so I just bring it down. And then you have a negative 5 and a negative 10. adding those, so negative 5 minus 10 or negative 5 plus negative 10, gives you negative 15. There's your answer for that one. Okay. Now let's look at a different type of problem. So for the next one, let's do, how about foiling, or you could do the tic-tac-toe method if you wanted to. Basically, we're going to be multiplying two binomials. So multiplying binomials. I'll use the tic-tac-toe method first. That's the one that she used in class. Okay, so you draw a tic-tac-toe board, and she told you to always cross out this top kind of left, upper left square. Then I'm going to put my two binomials on each side. So I have an x minus 1, that's the first one, and then a 4x minus 3. Okay? So if I'm going to multiply here, I do 4x times x. When you're multiplying variables, you add their exponents. Both of these x's have a 1, so you get 4x squared. Okay? Then you have 4x times negative 1, that's a negative 4x, and negative 3 times x, that's a negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative 1 is a positive 3. So when you do it that way, you have your like terms on a diagonal here. So you need to combine these things. Like we did on the previous slide, you add and subtract. So we have a negative 3x plus a negative 4x. So if you want to go ahead and write out your answer, 4x squared, that's this one, so take care of that. Then we have negative 3x minus 4x, that's negative 7x. Okay, so we got rid of both those, and then a plus 3. Okay, so that is your answer. If you were going to multiply those two binomials, this would be what you get. I really like using a method called FOIL. I'll do that one in red. So FOIL stands for first, outer, inner, and last. So if you want to FOIL two binomials, you multiply the first two terms first. So x times 4x squared. And x times 4x gives you 4x squared. And we did the first. Now let's do the outer, the two outside ones. X times negative 3 gives me negative 3x. My inner two terms, negative 1 times 4x is negative 4x. And my last two terms, negative 1 times negative 3. Okay, gives you a positive 3. When you do FOIL, it'll be your inside two things most of the time that you need to be combining. So you have 4x squared, just draw that down. Negative 3x minus 4x will give you a negative 7x, and then a plus 3 there. So it doesn't matter which of the two ways you do it. Both work, both give you the same